Hi, this is Nasco, and today I'm going to present to you what will be the catalysts for Tesla stock price in 2021 and what will actually not be, even though you probably think it will be. First, I'm going to tell you what will not be the catalysts for Tesla stock this year. As you all know, Tesla reached its goal of 500,000 vehicles. Actual earnings will be announced on at the end of this month or beginning of next month on Tesla's Q4 earnings call. A lot of investors will be looking out for that call, not so much as to how much money Tesla made, but what Tesla expects to make. And I wanna say what is actually going to be considered good and what will not be considered good and what's actually expected. First thing is I want to bring back 2020 deliveries. 2020's deliveries, Tesla projected 500,000, but it also projected it will easily beat 500,000 vehicles. That was in January or maybe beginning of February. What happened after then is coronavirus. And the effect that it had on Tesla was twofold. First, the factory in Shanghai opened about a month after it was supposed to open. That definitely lowered the production capability of this facility for 2020. Number two, the Fremont factory was closed for about 2 months. And even when those events took place, Tesla still managed to reach its goal of 500,000 vehicles. So realistically, what we can say is that if this hadn't happened, Tesla would have probably delivered around 600,000 vehicles. And that's, I'm assuming, was their actual goal. They just sandbagged it because they're sick of Elon being called out for over projecting and then not reaching his projections. At the same time, Elon has stated that he wants Tesla to grow on an annual basis at 50% a year for the foreseeable future. So let's think about what is 50% in 2021. Is it based on 500,000 vehicles or is it based on 600,000 vehicles? My expectation is it's based on 600,000 vehicles. If Tesla on its earnings call and in the filings projects anything less than 850,000 vehicles for 2021, that will actually be a negative for the stock. Investors expected to announce at least 850,000 vehicles projected, and if it doesn't, that it will be very negative for the stock. Number two is Tesla Energy and the uptake it has, especially solar roof. Solar roof will start getting baked into the price because essentially one solar roof is like selling at least one Tesla. So if Tesla sold or projected for 2021 to have 20,000 roofs, that's 20,000 Teslas extra. That's how you can think about it. If it projected 50,000, that's 50,000 cars extra at a higher profit margin than the actual cars. The important part in that product is not so much how much it makes per car, but what it actually will project. If Tesla projects over 20,000 solar roofs for 2020, this will be a catalyst for the stock. However, if it projects less than 10,000, it might be a negative. And if it doesn't project anything on solar roofs, that will also be a negative. So far, they have never projected anything on solar roofs, but this is becoming an important part of the company, along with the batteries and the mega packs and the huge super packs that they deliver to utilities. But this will be table stakes for Tesla on Q1 earnings call. They have to project specifically for solar roof, and if they don't, this will be a negative on the company. And if their projections are very weak, this also might be a negative, even though it's not necessary. Now, what also will not be a catalyst is the completion of the 2 Tesla factories in Germany and in Texas. These factories are already baked into the price. Tesla has been executing excellently when it comes to building factories and getting them operational in extremely time frames. But this is already projected into the stock price. Nobody's expecting those factories to produce a lot of vehicles, but they're expected to be completed this year. So the event of actually opening the factory will not have a huge impact on the stock price. It will if they open a quarter earlier than investors expect and start producing at volume. Then it will have an effect, but this is very unlikely, even with Tesla's speed of execution. Especially in Germany, we see bureaucracies rearing its ugly head here and there, unpaid deposit, turning off the water, stupid little things that bureaucrats know how to do to slow down a project. So what do I expect is going to be the actual catalyst for the stock? And I was thinking about it, and then Elon Musk gave me the answer. If you see on this tweet that he put a couple of days ago, maybe Tesla AI Day later this year. Tesla AI Day later this year. So what would be in Tesla's AI Day? Tesla doesn't really have anything new to say about AI. We know the cars can drive themselves. We know that they're getting better every day. A new computer really is not going to be that important from an investment standpoint, because the current one is already the best in the world by a very, very wide margin. It is in all the cars, or in the majority of the cars, and it's just waiting on the software updates. So Tesla will have to announce something very special for it to be a catalyst. And I think I figured out what. In 2019, Tesla announced leasing on Model 3 with the one caveat. The caveat was that you cannot buy back the car after the lease period is over, which is something that a lot of people do. Tesla takes it back. When Tesla takes back its car, the effect of that will be it will have inventory that it hasn't had in the past. In the past, Tesla never has inventory. Now it will. Those are cars that will be basically owned by Tesla, and they will have the choice of selling them on the market directly, where they flood the market with used Model 3s. Tesla's lease accounting shows about 8% of Tesla Model 3s are leased. Or the other option is to launch Tesla Network. My expectation is Tesla Network will be announced this year, probably towards the beginning of second half of this year. And there will be two reasons for that. Reason number one is a product like this will, especially the one I think will happen first, needs some lead up time to accumulate the customers it needs. What I think is going to happen is Tesla will announce Uber Eats, DoorDash, GrubHub, Seamless, and Instacart competitor instead of a robo-taxi in the beginning. There are multiple reasons for that, but the biggest reason is liability. While Tesla is fine-tuning everything, it can operate this delivery service without drivers, having much smaller liability when it comes to accidents instead of if it has drivers or passengers in the cars. People will be able to join in with their cars, and they can sit in their cars if they're their own cars, but that will not be necessary. What will happen is Tesla will announce this delivery service. They will start going into negotiations with all the restaurants that currently use Uber Eats, all the grocery stores that currently use Instacart, and it will undercut their prices by a very big margin. Just to give you an example, I had a restaurant until very recently. If you do, especially when you're a small restaurant, let's say one, you're not a chain. If you have a contract with DoorDash, with Uber Eats, with GrubHub, their average take is about 30% per order from what you see on your invoice when you order food. And then they take 30% from the restaurant and they add on delivery fees to the customer, which are, let's say, another 10 to 20% from the receipt value that the customer sees on the order. All those costs that DoorDash and Uber Eats add on to the purchase of food, essentially, are for two reasons. Number one is insurance. Not number one by cost, but reason number one is insurance Uber has to ensure the drivers while they're on their network and delivering or driving passengers. This is state law everywhere, or federal law maybe at this point. Number two, they have to pay the driver, and they're fighting to make some profit. Now, Tesla's proposition will be completely different. You're not going to have a driver. Nobody's going to come to your restaurant to pick up the food. You're going to have a predetermined location where a Tesla will wait for you to bring the car to them, the food to the car. You have some kind of a code, you punch in, the door opens or the trunk opens, depends on how Tesla decides to set it up. You leave the car, close it, punch another number or coupon code or anything like that the order is ready to go. The car takes off. Probably will not be going on freeways anywhere, just slow city driving. It will not care if it's too slow, it will not care if it's too fast, it will just go to where it's supposed to go. The customers that receive the food will have the same experience. They will have a predetermined location where a Tesla delivery car will be driven to. They'll have a notification, your car is 5 minutes away. You go to the car, enter a code, the trunk pops open, get your food, close the trunk, goodbye. All of this will be probably times cheaper than what Uber and DoorDash charge for those services. Tesla will have the benefit of having much cheaper insurance. First of all, they have their own insurance company inside Tesla. And number two, when you don't have a driver, even if you get in an accident, especially if the accident doesn't involve other people, it's just property damage. Property damage is much cheaper than having to pay medical bills to someone. So their insurance will be much cheaper and their costs will be much lower. Number two, all their cars are electric. They have very, very low amortization. They don't break down. They're very cheap to operate. And Tesla manufactures the fuel for those vehicles, electricity, in many cases. So when the car goes low on charge, it just drives itself to a charger and it charges. When Tesla announces this will be the catalyst for the next jump up on Tesla stock price. All those other things, they're already baked into the price. And if we have a market crash, Tesla will go down with it. If we don't, Tesla will keep cruising, maybe outperforming the market a little by little, but not by much. Number two that I wanted to say will happen on AI Day. For those who live in houses, especially in the United States, don't realize how different the experience is to have a Tesla when you do not have a garage. That means basically you don't have the infrastructure to have an electric car. And if you want to have an electric car, you have to have some kind of a compromise with your lifestyle. Tesla AI Day, I predict, will announce that you'll have some kind of a program where you pay a monthly subscription fee, where your car drives itself whenever it decides is the most convenient for the Tesla supercharger network, and it's most convenient for you as the owner of the vehicle. It will drive itself to the supercharger. It will start charging at a rate that Tesla has decided is best for the battery. It can be max rate at 240 kilowatts. It can be at 50 kilowatts. Depends on what Tesla thinks is best for the battery. Of course, taking into account the owner's preferences of when they will be leaving for work or whatever scheduled activity they have, because you will be telling your car, I'm going to be going out at 10 p.m. I'm going to be going to work at 6 a.m. The car will know all of that, and it will take all of those preferences into account, and it will charge itself. I'm expecting in the beginning Tesla to have to hire attendants at superchargers, for one to be plugging in the cars that will drive themselves to the charging station, but number two, to also optimize the current use of superchargers. We all know that superchargers get backed up on certain days. We all know that when a Tesla supercharger, sometimes customers take much longer than they have to unplug their cars and take off. Let's say they went to the mall, they went to a restaurant, or they, for whatever reason, they're taking longer even though their car is ready to go. So that will have that double effect of optimizing Tesla's supercharging network and saving them money in the process. Number two is it will open the market, new Tesla sales, to customers that don't have a garage. Currently, especially in Europe, I'm assuming in Asia from what I've seen, and in the United States, if you do not live in an apartment, electric cars are just not for you. It's too much of a compromise, especially if you drive a lot. We all know what the Tesla's projections are for having car sales 10 years into the future. They want to be basically about 20% of the current market. This will not happen if customers without a garage are excluded from that market. On Tesla AI Day, Elon Musk will announce that customers without a garage are very welcome to join Tesla and the electric future. And these two announcements will be the catalysts for Tesla stock. Another minor catalyst will be announcing subscription service for self-driving. So currently self-driving costs about $10,000, the full package. Of course, if you already have a Tesla that doesn't have that option, or if you are planning on buying, that's a very big expense for something that you're not even sure when it will work and how it works. While when you can have a subscription, I'm expecting the subscription to be somewhere to the tune of about $200 a month. Have the luxury of your car driving yourself. $200 a month is the first implementation of hardware as a service in the world. You'll be paying your car to driving you, and that's the first form of it. And Tesla is the first one to implement it. It will completely change how analysts view the profit margins and how they view it as a company, especially the ones that still don't think that Tesla is a tech company. Most the ones who think Tesla is just a car company will have to change their view. And these are, I think, the main reasons and the main catalysts that will happen in 2021 for Tesla to keep going up. And if Tesla AI Day announces the things that I just spoke about, my expectation is by the end of 2021, barring some kind of a market crash or another coronavirus type event happening, Tesla stock price to be over double what it is today. Thank you very much. I hope you liked the video. If you like it, hit like. If you want to know more about me, hit subscribe. Have a good day.